With a name like Celebrate Truth, you know we're going to be smacked with nothing but facts and logical reasoning. In today's Conspiracy Crackpots, we will be educated by someone who claims to celebrate truth. Before we begin, be sure to like, share and subscribe if you haven't already.
We have been lied to, big time.
Holy crap, this sounds important. You have my complete attention. I promise I won't interrupt. What have we been lied to about?
Without the globe model, you can't have a Big Bang. Without the Big Bang model, the theory of evolution can't even be considered. Without the theory of evolution, extraterrestrials seeding mankind is over.
Whoa, hold on there. I know I said I wouldn't interrupt, but did you really think I'd miss that? Extraterrestrials seeding mankind? No credible scientist will ever say that aliens created humans. There are some theories out there about aliens hybridizing animals to create humans, but that's usually other conspiracy whack jobs. If you're referring to panspermia, then that has nothing to do with aliens. As for the globe model needing a Big Bang, no it doesn't, nor does evolution. None of it strictly needs a beginning.
Without all these lies, people start thinking about the Creator, who we are, where we came from. If we look at things, we're about to see.
People have always thought about these things. It's one of the bases for philosophy. Why am I here? Where did I come from? What are we doing? What's the meaning of life?
The truth versus lies.
I doubt anything you present here will be the truth.
The world has given us so many lies, it's hard to even get your mind straight with everything that's going through TV, radio, the internet.
People ask these questions before any of them had been invented. It's human nature to question things.
How do we know? We must read the Bible. We must get back to the basics.
Oh, come on, man. You're going to make me come across as some sort of anti-religious person, or anti-Christian at the very least.
There's 7 planets. Interestingly, the Book of Enoch explains that the 7 planets are actually the 7 wandering stars.
I don't know how to tell you this, but there are 8 planets.
Reserved for a place of judgment of utter darkness. We have been told that the universe is everything. And yet, we know these are lies.
The universe is everything. That's literally what universe means. How is that a lie? Also, this message on screen about the Big Bang isn't only accepted by atheists, and is also not correct. There was no explosion. There was no bang. This is a very common misconception. There was no singular point of origin. It happened everywhere, all at once. That's the simplest way to explain it.
If you look at everything that's happening with atheism, with science, we have been lied to.
Science and atheism are not one and the same. They are separate. There are many scientists that are also religious. Some people become scientists because of their religion. They wish to understand their God better.
Join me on the journey. We will explain what are the planets, the sun, the moon, and the stars. We have been lied to. Big time. It's time to wake up. Time to come to the truth. Jesus Christ is Lord.
What? That was only the intro? A 2-minute intro? The next 7 minutes had better be damn convincing. Or at least entertaining.
The Book of Enoch Aramaic fragments were found in the Dead Sea Scrolls in 1947. The displayed fragment described the heavenly revolt of the fallen angels and their descent to earth to cohabit with the daughters of men and to reveal secret knowledge to mankind, a story hinted at Genesis 6.
Wow, a passage of biblical text that refers to another biblical text? What's your point?
What's interesting also about the Book of Enoch is the cosmology and the creation account, specifically with the stars, the sun, and the moon, as luminaries as they're described in the Book of Enoch. This book was not included in the canon of the Hebrew Bible, but it is quoted by and referenced by the Bible, like several other non-canonical historical books.
Wait, so if it's not in the Bible, which is recognized as the Word of God, then it is not the Word of God and should be considered heretical texts, and to preach them is blasphemy. I didn't make these rules, you guys did. Also, why are you showing scenes from Final Fantasy during this?
These are considered of historical value, but the Bible is the standard for doctrine. Note there are several books that go by the Book of Enoch. Only the one referred to as First Enoch is the true one.
If they're all found together, wouldn't that make them all true? This is what we call cherry picking, folks. You can't dismiss something from your sources just because it doesn't fit your narrative. This is one reason no one takes your side seriously.
Jesus himself referred to the Book of Enoch to the Sadducees, confirming its validity in Matthew 22:30, Enoch 15:6-7. When talking about the angels in heaven, this was a book they would be familiar with. The Book of Enoch goes into great, very minute detail of the heavenly luminaries, including the sun, moon, and stars, chapters 72-82. Enoch tells us plainly that the stars and wandering stars, planets, are a form of angelic beings, living stones of fire, as described also in the Bible. He tells us that 7 of them disobeyed God and left their prescribed course. These are the wandering stars.
Okay, so with the naked eye, you can see Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and Mercury. Where are the other 2? Uranus wasn't discovered until 1781 and Neptune in 1846, so they couldn't be considered as wandering stars, as you wouldn't have been able to see them. You can occasionally see 4 Vesta with the naked eye, but that is quite rare. Sure, the ancient people did think Andromeda was a star at one point, but now we know it's a galaxy. To save time, I'll skip most of the Bible passages from here on, as they are irrelevant to the argument, but you can check out the full video in the description below.
For this, they are punished. It's interesting that we have 7 planets, so-called planets, in our solar system. We've been told that Earth is a planet, but this, of course, is a lie.
How is this a lie? We know the Earth is a planet, and you've yet to show why it isn't, other than God done it.
If you include the other ones, we have the planets. As the ancients knew, these were wandering stars. It's interesting that the Book of Enoch explains that the wandering stars have transgressed God's laws and will be punished. They seem to be the ones that orbit in a different way than all the other stars.
When seen from Earth, the planets do move differently than other stars.
Now it's interesting with the Book of Enoch explaining the wandering stars. We've been told all throughout our life that these are planets. Even our Earth is a planet.
Funny about that. Might have something to do with them. Oh, I don't know. I'll go out on a limb here. Being planets, maybe?
It is not. There was the sun, the moon, and also stars. Everything that we see in the sky, other than the sun and the moon, are stars.
I'm still waiting for the mind-blowing information about the lie. Why is it just the sun and moon? Why do these wandering stars never cross in front of the sun? Other than Mercury and Venus, of course.
But the 7 wandering stars is where we'd like to focus the attention. It is incredible to think that the Bible even refers to these as living creatures.
How is that incredible? The Bible has a lot of mistakes in it. It was written by people after all, and people make mistakes.
All the stars having names and particular set courses they must follow. God not only numbered the stars, but he named them. If you look in the Bible, you'll see where God numbers the grains of sand on the earth, but there's no names because they're not living. But the stars are living.
Okay, so in naming all the stars, That part was left out of the Bible, but all the begetting in Genesis wasn't? Where is this documented account of God naming the stars? That would be one long-ass scroll. There are trillions and trillions of stars in the universe.
This is where we have to look into it further. In Revelations 1:20, 2:1, and 3:1, stars are also specifically used.
A bit off topic, but you clearly know how to edit. Why did you leave that in?
Stars are also specifically used to represent the angels of the 7 churches.
Also still irrelevant.
The book of 1st Enoch refers to the stars, the sun, and the moon collectively as its luminaries. The Bible describes the stars as stones of fire.
This is one of the mistakes in the Bible I refer to. The sun is most certainly not a stone of fire. In fact, it isn't fire at all. I won't go into detail about the thermonuclear reactions in the sun that cause the light and the heat, but it has nothing to do with fire. Ancient people didn't know that and simply assumed it was a ball of fire.
As the lies continue with our universe in darkness, how men love darkness, and they would not come into the light. And we know that the space construct is all full of a vacuum, complete void of light.
That's probably the only thing you've said that is correct. Space is a vacuum.
It's dark. It seems that everything revolved around having the space illuminated in our minds for specific purpose.
What purpose is that? I hear this one all the time. What reason is there to make up space?
To show where we've come from, and also to hide God from people's eyes, as God is not needed when you have a Big Bang.
There are plenty of people that think God created the Big Bang. The Big Bang was the let there be light moment mentioned in the Bible. Having a Big Bang doesn't detract anything away from there being a God, and some people see the entire universe as showing how powerful a God can be to create such a wondrous and beautiful place.
The 7 stars, the luminaries, as we call them, planets, do have, of course, they have transgressed, and they are living.
All these assertions, and not a single scrap of evidence.
This is something that is interesting. This is something we'll have to look into further.
You should look into everything a lot further, as what you see as lies are simply facts. You can't call something a lie because you can't accept the reality.
As we continue the study,
that's where he ends. I'm rather disappointed, really. I was hoping for some great revelation that would finally convince us all that the Earth is flat and the center of everything. But all we got was just some references to some obscure religious texts. Don't think that I am in any way against religion. Many religions try to teach people to be decent folk. And my life philosophy is don't be a dick, so they're kind of aligned. The issue is people take everything they read as literal and can't think for themselves, thus becoming dicks. Don't do that. Thank you all for listening, and a special thanks to Purple Haze and Ghostface, who have recently funded a camera purchase. Facecam soon, folks. Thanks to all my other patrons too. Your support is greatly appreciated. You too can show your support by simply liking, commenting, and sharing this video. If you do want to take it that step further, you can support me on Patreon or grab some merch over at Teespring. You can also submit stories and video suggestions over at the Undivari subreddit. Until next time, folks, don't be a dick. Good night.